Hi everyone, my name is Haitao Liu, and now I'm working in spatial front in cooperation as AI and WebGIS developer. Very thanks the invitation from Professor Chu. It's my honor as a guest speaker has this chance to share my research about how to use deep learning and geographic information science (GIS) to monitor wild animals and estimate their real size in the thermal imagery captured by UAVs. UAVs means unmanned aerial vehicles, also known as drones. I can't control it. I don't know. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, this is the outline my presentation. Firstly, I will introduce my research background, challenges, and research objectives. Object detection based on deep learning plays an important role in my research. Therefore, I will demonstrate their working principles and their development history from image classification models to object detection models in Chapter 2. Subsequently, a georeference model will be introduced, which makes it possible to use object detection model to detect animals from thermal imagery, and then use GIS method to estimate their real size. Finally, I will provide two practical wildlife monitoring applications, respectively using two representative object detection models, Faster R-CNN and YOLOv8. After my presentation, we will conduct an experiment together. In this experiment, we will focus on using YOLOv8. The main reason is that from a fundamental perspective, the two models, Faster R-CNN and YOLOv8, are very similar. The key techniques used in Faster R-CNN now are also used in the current YOLOv8 model. And at the same time, the YOLOv8 model is much more popular than Faster R-CNN at present. My research has a strong relationship with the Chitwan National Park in Nepal, which has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1984, covering about 952 square kilometers. UNESCO means United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. This park hosts a rich variety of ecosystems, from a marshland to a dense forest, attracting many wild animals living here. Among these animals, there are 4 key species, including elephant, rhinos, buffalo, and deer, are essential for sustaining this ecosystem. For example, elephants act as ecosystem engineers by creating the clearance in the forest, allowing sunlight to reach the ground, and promoting the plant diversity. They also can dig water holes during dry seasons that can benefit other wild animals. And the buffalo and rhinos mainly play an important role in grazing, which can prevent the overgrowth of the vegetations, maintaining the open areas for aquatic species. Meanwhile, deer is important prey or food for large predators like tigers and leopards. So, deer species is important to keep the park's predator-prey dynamics to be balanced. In summary, protecting the key species is essential for the park's biodiversity. The loss of any can trigger cascading negative effects that can destroy the ecological balance in the Chitwan National Park. Normally, regularly monitoring wildlife is essential for their protection. As shown in this slide, there are 4 ways mainly used to monitor wild animals. The first method is named ground-based counting, which primarily relies on humans' close-range observation. This approach can provide detailed information, but this method is limited to the areas that is accessible to human beings. The second method is camera trapping. This method can automate the process of thermal image capturing when the animals trigger the sensors. Compared to ground-based counting, this method can provide data over extended periods. However, this method heavily relies on individuals to collect and process data, so like the ground-based counting, this method also limited to the areas where human being can reach. Sensing technologies is also widely used, with helicopters, airplanes being employed to monitor wild animals. Compared to camera tracking and ground-based counting, remote sensing technologies can monitor much wide and large areas. However, the resolution of remote sensing images is usually lower than those in the capture lower than the images captured by the camera trapping, which make it difficult to monitor small-sized animals. And additionally, the cost of renting a helicopter or satellite to monitor wild animals is very expensive, which may be prohibitive for many research teams. Get a best balance among these methods, offering convenient data collection and lower cost. Finally, using drones to monitor wild animals in the Chitwan National Park was selected. This is the main reason. The Chitwan National Park is covered by tall vegetation. It's easy for animals to hide under them, making them undetectable. And I'd like to use this slide to show why we have to use thermal imaging to monitor wild animals. On the left, we can see a high-resolution RGB image. In this image, the animals labeled by green boxes are easily detectable, but other animals labeled by yellow and red boxes camouflaged under the density canopies. Detecting them is very difficult. The right displays a thermal image, despite its low resolution, but the thermal signatures of these animals can stand out against the cooler background, making their detection much easier. That's the main reason we select using thermal image to monitor wild animals. However, it's also notable that the size of animal objects in the high-resolution image on the left is about 100 times larger than those in the thermal image. The smaller size of the animal objects in thermal image presents a significant challenge for deep learning-based methods to automatically detect them. The first challenge is the smaller size of animal objects in thermal image means it is difficult for them to provide enough visual information for current object detection models to accurately localize their positions and identify their species. In addition, the terrain of the Chitwan National Park is uneven. Drones have to fly at different altitudes to avoid the tall tips of the trees. This variety in flying altitudes results in a significant variation in the size of wild animal size across different thermal images, which make small object detection much challenging. Current detection models especially used to identify targets by annotating them with bounding boxes as shown in this slide. A A bounding box provides only pixel-based representation, which is not equal to the real-world measurement. For example, as shown in this slide, even though the bounding box enclosing a giant panda is similar in the size of a bounding box enclosing a red panda, we can't conclude that the two animals are the same size, because in the reality, a giant panda is much larger than a red panda. So the second challenge is the current object detection model cannot be used to estimate the real size of the detected animals. The main purpose of my research is shown in this slide. I want to construct a model that can be used to automatically localize the animal's position in the thermal image and identify the species, and that can also be used to estimate their real size. So the first problem is how to construct a model to detect wild animals in thermal images. To some extent, an object detection model can be abstractly regarded as a regression problem. From the perspective information system, the input of an object detection model is an image, which can be represented as a matrix, and the output is some vectors. As shown in this slide, the output includes 5 vectors. The first 4 vectors will be used to denote the coordinates of the red boxes, and the last node will be used to denote the animal species label. In fact, using information technologies to detect objects from images is always a hard research sport, especially with the advent of deep learning. Deep learning has revolutionized the object detection by automating the process from the raw images, and at the same time by using the convolution neural layers, CAN layers, more and more abstract feature information can be extracted, which is very helpful for object detection. Initially, one of the most popular methods is sliding window. This method is combined with an image classification model by moving a fixed-sized window across an image system, usually from left to right, and then from top to bottom. At each position, the fixed-size window will define a sub-image, and this sub-image will be fed into an image classification model to determine whether the object or the target of interest, whether this target of interest is presented within the sub-image. This method is simple and easy to understand, but this method faces a serious challenge, that is the detection efficiency. Especially this method, when used this method to do small object detection, the smaller sliding steps will be required. For example, in my research, a thermal image with a height about 500 pixels and the width about 600 pixels. A thermal image will generate hundreds of thousands of sub-images. Processing all these sub-images maybe will need half an hour. So this kind of detection efficiency is unbearable. And fortunately, recently, this method has been replaced by advanced object detection model based on deep learning, such as Faster R-CNN, SSD. SSD means the single-shot detection, and retainer net, and YOLO. These models can be further divided into 2 categories. One is the one-stage detector, and the other is 2-stage detector. Their working mechanism simulates our humans like our humans. We will use our eyes to detect objects, and then we will use our brain to identify them. So in the context of object detection based on deep learning, the anchor box function as the model's eyes, and the convolution neural layers will function as the model's brain. The process begins with using the convolution neural layers, CNN layers, to extract the feature maps from the input images. And based on the feature maps, the model can find the regions which may potentially contain the targets of the interest. And then the model will assign their eyes, the anchor box, to these regions. Subsequently, the model will begin to adjust the coordinates of these anchor boxes to make them fit the object optimally. Finally, based on the coordinates of these refined anchor boxes, the model can be used to predict the accurate positions of the detected targets. And the main difference between the two types of models is one-stage detectors will treat all the positions in a feature map as the regions of interest. Regions of interest is also called ROIs, ROI. But the two-stage detector will use extra module to predict the possible region. Only this region will be regarded as the region of interest. So two-stage detector use actual modules, which means two-stage detector will have more parameters. So they will need more time to train, more time to do the detection. So it's a common sense that one-stage detector will achieve better detection efficiency, and two-stage detector will have better detection. And deep learning models are often referred as black boxes due to their complex and opaque internal workings. But why do these black box models can perform effectively? In my view, the main reason is the loss function. Even without understanding the intricate details of deep learning models operations, we can use loss functions to provide a mechanism to estimate the performance during the process of training a deep learning model, which can tell us whether this model is on the track. In the object detection model, their loss consists of two parts. One is the classification loss. We need to identify the animal species. And the other loss is bounding box regression loss, because the model will have to adjust the coordinates of the bounding boxes to make them fit the object optimally. So they have the two kinds of loss. In my model, I use a classical loss function cross entropy to calculate the classification loss. And for the bounding box regression loss, I define and I use 4 functions to estimate the bounding box regression loss. The first is the angle loss, and the second is distance loss, shape loss, and IOU loss. IOU means intersection over union. I will provide some details in the following the PPT. And then I calculate the weighted sum of the two kinds of loss. Based on this loss, we can use the gradient descent algorithm to training an object detection model. In fact, when you first state Adam, maybe you feel confused. In fact, now a lot of open source and provide some functions can help us to calculate this loss. When we finish the construction of the detection model, we will face a new problem: thermal image with different color palette. The main difference between a true color image and a thermal image is that thermal cameras can use color palettes to visually represent the temperature deviation in the sun. These color palettes can map the heat signature to different colors, which is very useful for the fish extraction. However, some images captured or collected by the different research teams normally has non-uniform color palettes. The main reason is that a different research team may have their special needs, and maybe he will select the color palette they like. And at the same time, even some team will add some time on the thermal image. This is a kind of watermark. Watermark for in the context, if you want to use a deep learning to detect objects, watermark is a kind of noise information. So this information may have negative effect on the model's detection accuracy. And at the same time, inconsistent solar color palettes make the same object look different, which is equal to increasing the complexity of a training dataset. This will slow down the model's training and learning efficiency. So in my research, I encapsulate the SDK, the dynamic library provided by DGI company, to be a Python package that can be used to uniform the color palette. In the final experiment, I will show more details how to use the package to uniform the color palette of some images. In addition, the color palette, now we will solve the problem to how to estimate the real size of the detected animals. To address this issue, my idea is involved using GIS theory to construct a georeference model to project a thermal image on a map and associated each pixel in this image with map coordinates. These coordinates can be used to calculate the size of the bounding boxes, which can in turn to be used to estimate the real size of the animals. In the process of the georeference, there are three different. First is UAV body reference system, and the second is NED reference system. NED means north, east, and down, and the third is WGS reference system. The key is to implement the transformation matrix. We need to construct the transformation matrix. The first, we construct the transformation matrix between the UAV body system and the NED system. And then we will construct the transform matrix between the NED system and the WGS84 system. And then, based on the transformation matrix, we can project a thermal image on a map. Their coordinate system is WGS84. But I also do GSD means ground sample distance, which means that the distance between two consecutive pixels that will be measured on the ground. And the image processing of a drone camera is illustrated in this slide. The focal length, field of view, and the attitude can be used to calculate the GSD. In fact, when drones capture an image, many valuable environment information is stored in the image's metadata. For example, let's show this thermal image in this slide. We can extract many environment information from its metadata as shown in the table on the right. This information can be used to calculate the GSD. In the final experiment, I will show how to extract the metadata from a thermal image. This is a simple experiment, and we project this image on a map. Okay, in the following, we have know how to construct a deep learning model. We know how to use some method to uniform the color palette of some images, and these images can be used to construct a training dataset. And we also can know how to use the GIS method to construct a georeference model that can be used to project some image on a map, associating each pixels in this image with map coordinates. These map coordinates can be used to estimate the real size of the detected animals. In the following, I will introduce two practical animal monitoring applications. The first is we will monitor wild deer from the perspective of the ecological balance. Wild deer are the health indicator of an ecosystem. A very important task in my research is monitor wild deer in the Chitwan National Park. Monitor wild deer happened at a relatively small region. Therefore, the detection of wild deer doesn't require too much speed, but the detection accuracy is more concerned because the detection results will be used to estimate the deer population by ecological scientists. As previously introduced, two-stage detectors are famous for their detection accuracy. Finally, two-stage detector Faster R-CNN was selected to construct the model for the detection of wild deer in my research. The model consists of three parts. One is feature extraction, and the second is ROI. ROI means region of interest prediction, and the third is classification. Based on the structure of the original Faster R-CNN, I made three important improvements. VGG16 is used in the original Faster R-CNN for the feature extraction. The 16 VGG16, the 16 means this model have 16 convolution neural layers. So the first update, I use ResNets 152. ResNets 152 means this model have 152 convolution neural layers. ResNets 152 has much more convolution neural layers, so it can offer a more powerful capability to extract useful feature information from input images, make them more effective for small object detection. At the same time, ResNets 152 that can be used to generate 5 feature maps. The 5 feature maps in my research, the 5 feature maps will be used will be used in my model. Each feature map can contribute to the quantity of the feature information. By adding the number of feature maps, the issue that smaller size of the animal objects in thermal images cannot provide enough feature information. This issue can be mitigated. And furthermore, I also use another techniques, FPN. FPN means feature pyramid neural network. This technology is very popular in the research region of deep learning. But by using this method, the different feature layers can learn from each other. By this way, my aim is to add the model's ability to detect the objects with significant variation in scale. And another important point is for a detection model, it's important to know it's important is detected and which anchor box encloses the target. So a method is used LU. The LU means intersection of union. For example, a manual labeled the target as a red box, and then we will calculate the LU value between the red box and the green anchor boxes. If the LU value is more than a threshold value, for example 0.5, the model will know, oh, these anchor boxes may contain the target. This model will subsequently adjust the coordinates of these anchor boxes to make it fit the red box optimally. But original Faster R-CNN used fixed-sized anchor boxes as shown in the left figure. We can see these fixed-sized anchor boxes is large, so the LU value between the green anchor boxes and the red boxes, the LU value is very, very small. This means at the beginning, the model it's possible for the model to discard this green anchor boxes, which will have negative effect the detection accuracy of the small objects. To address this problem, I construct a cluster model based on the LU value. This model can generate the customized anchor boxes as shown in this image. Customized anchor boxes can make sure that at least one of the anchor boxes will have the higher LU values. By this way, we can improve the detection accuracy of the small objects. And the final update is one of the purpose of the models is to identify the species of the detected animals. So the ROI feature map is very important for the species identification. In the original Faster R-CNN, the model only used one feature map. If the object size is large, one feature map is enough. But in my research, the size of the animals in the thermal image is small, so one feature map is not enough. So I just use multiple feature map to construct the ROI feature map. By this way, I can improve the accuracy species identification. In addition to the construction of the detection model, we also need to create a data set to about 5,000 thermal images were collected, and we hired students and manually labeled the positions of the animals with the red boxes as shown in this slide. Finally, about 27,000 animal objects were annotated. And then this data set will be split into 3 parts, respectively used for training, testing, and validation. If you want to publish your research results to paper, we will have to use the common evaluation criteria to evaluate the performance of the model. QQ evaluation criteria is a common rule in the research area of object detection. So based on this area, according to of the bounding boxes, all the animal objects will be further divided into 3 categories: small, medium, and large. Residual neural ResNet means residual neural network. They are very famous for their powerful ability to extract features from the input images. According to the number of convolution neural layers, there are 5 types of residual neural layers. They are ResNet 1834, 15, 101. The purpose of this experiment is to show why ResNet 152 was selected, because it achieved the highest detection and precision, especially for the small object detection. For example, this original thermal image contains 17D objects, and the object detection model using ResNet 152 can successfully identify the 17D. In the previous experiments, the object detection model still used the fixed-sized anchor boxes. If the customized anchor boxes are used in the object detection model, the detection accuracy will become better. For example, this image contains 73D objects, presenting a significant challenge for current object detection models. The model using the customized anchor boxes and the ResNet 152 can successfully detect all the objects, but only fail to identify 4 object species. And the second wildlife monitoring application is monitor the 4K species: buffalo, deer, elephants, and the rhinos. They are also essential for sustaining the important to sustain the ecosystem in the Chitwan National Park. In this research, about 10 teams use path planning to control drones to called aerial server regions. At the same time, sampling surveys are also necessary, which refer to monitor animals by the observation of the drone drone operators, as shown the random points. This is the 10 region, and the random points mean the sampling surveys. In this scenario, the models with the high detection efficiency are preferred because the monitor area is large and many thermal images were collected and needed to processed frequently. YOLO is the most representative one-stage detector, being famous for its fast detection speed. Since YOLO was first introduced in 2016, YOLO has been updated 11 times. In my view, current YOLO is not only a detection model, but a detection framework. It contains many famous convolution neural networks and encapsulates these convolution neural networks as modules, also named blocks, allowing us to choose different blocks to create a customized object detection model according to our specific requirements. Therefore, in my research, the YOLO is selected to construct an efficient wildlife detection model for the detection of the key species. This model is made up of 5 types of blocks as shown in this slide. Convolution block is the basic block in the framework of YOLO, which can be used to create the bottleneck block. And the convolution block and the bottleneck block can be used to construct C2f block. And the C2f block can be used to construct SPPF block and the detect block. When you first say these terms, I think you will feel very confused. Actually, each block is a convolution neural network. This block this block comes from the achievement some excellent researchers. They create this block because this block can be used to extract the data features from the input images. So I use this block to construct my own YOLO models. This slide compares my model to the original YOLO model. The key difference is that I added an actual model between the backbone and the head. The main purpose is because the size of the animal objects in the thermal image is small. So what I do these things, the main purpose is I want to add this model to increase the model's ability to extract more features from the input image. Only using these features we can predict their positions and identify the species. And each block comes from a paper. So in fact, I also stand the genes. Finally, I compared the two models, the performance. Models using the Faster R-CNN. Faster R-CNN is a kind of two-stage object detection models. These models will achieve better detection accuracy. But the model using YOLO structure will have better detection efficiency. This efficiency is about 20 times faster than the efficiency of the model using Faster R-CNN. I'd like to use this slide to show how to estimate the real size of the detected animals. There are two thermal images in this slide. Intuitively, we may assume that the animals in the left image are larger than those in the right image. By using the wildlife detection model, the animals in the two thermal images can be identified, can be detected. The animals are there, and the model will annotate these targets with the bounding boxes. By using the georeference model, we can project the two thermal images and the bounding boxes on a map as shown. Based on the map coordinates, the area of the bounding box can be calculated. In fact, average size in the two images are very close, only 3 millimeters in difference. At the same time, we may suspect that the 5 white deer should be same. Maybe they were captured 2 times. So when we need to count the number of number of water deer based on the two thermal images, maybe the right answer should be 5, not 10. Our model has been used in the practical wildlife monitoring in the Chitwan National Park. Maybe 3 months, 28,000 thermal images were captured by drones. The centrons of these thermal images are projected on a map as shown in this slide. Each point denotes a UAV captured thermal image. And by using the model, we proposed about 15,000 animals were detected in about 6,000 thermal images. The red points denotes the thermal images where wild animals were detected. In the following, I will show some details in the different the aerial survey areas. For example, this in the area 1. Red circle means there's a red point. The red point in the red circle means this is a thermal image. Well, wild animals were detected, and this image is shown in the right. This is area 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is the manual sampling survey area. Finally, I can give the detailed detection results. The table will show how many thermal images were collected and how many images contain animals and how many animals were detected and the distribution of the 4 key species. In the previous maps, the points represent a thermal image. A point represents a thermal image. But a single thermal image may contain multiple animals. Therefore, the distribution of a thermal image is not the distribution of the detected wild animals. A bounding box indicates the bounding box indicates the position of the detected animals within an image. So the centrons of a georeferenced bounding boxes can be used to represent the positions of the detected animals on a map. By this way, we can create the distribution of the detected wild animals. Buffalo deer, elephants are respectively use red, blue, green, yellow. It is obvious that wild deer, are much more active than other animals. That's why wild deer are usually regarded as the health indicator of a national park. This distribution also can provide ecology scientists with some important findings. For example, wild deer was spatially clustered in the regions indicated by the 2 red arrows, while the grass was near eaten out. Additionally, many wild deer have been observed in the buffer zones as indicated by the garden zone. This means some large predators like tigers and leopards may follow this wild deer into this region, which may raise human-animal conflict. And in this slide, I show that by adding georeferenced bounding boxes that are linked to the real size of the detected animals on the map, the new map will become more informative. For example, based on the size estimation, animals' age and health conditions can be influenced by ecology scientists. If we add the timestamp information on a map based on the bounding boxes, we can predict the immigration direction of wild animals. My research is supported by NSF and the project based on this support. I also published some papers. That's all.